goal here is to get really close to the edge of the die right here and here. So, and if it's starting to...
The die pin?
Well, the die... We're looking at the preparation. This whole thing is going to be the die. Can you see that right there, that hole right in there? That right in there, that's where we're going for. So we want this cut right here to come straight down, and if anything, we want it to stay on this side. So I'm looking at it and saying, okay, I might need to adjust the angle just a little bit so that I'm aiming right towards the edge of that tooth.
So it's on either side of that tooth.
Yeah.
So is that tooth right in the center?
That's the
Just
hope.
dead center? That's the old tooth.
If we did it, if we got everything set up the way we wanted to, then yeah. Okay, so notice we're getting really close here. Back here we've still got a fair amount going on, so we can come in here and aim it towards the edge of that tooth. Now notice when that broke, we left the margin of our tooth intact. We didn't bother it. Okay? That's what we want. We need to have the entire preparation totally visible and not messed up by anything, so that when we make our crown fits the tooth just the way it's supposed to. Now see how that one is heading right towards the edge of this tooth right here?
Yes.
And we get close to the edge. Once we get it close, then we can just push on that a little bit sometimes. If we got it just the right amount, it will break right where we want it to go. And if you just push it like this, it'll break when you get it just the right amount of stone removed. A little bit thick right here. And just come right in through here. And that is aiming right towards that spot. And if we look at it really close, you can see how the die broke just below the edge of the margin. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to trim away the extra material. I need this far enough away so it'll go in and out of the model.
Vacuum on.
It doesn't matter. So I'm keeping it down a little bit below the edges of the margins. When we do our impression, we use a laser and go right around the edges of the tooth, and that creates a little gap between the tooth you see how that just popped out and left part of the tooth down there exposed?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're just coming in and adjusting this just enough so that any extra stone goes away. See, now we can see at the edge of our tooth. Coming right in. And we want it to come up so that it just stops right as we get to the edge of the tooth. We don't want it to screw up our margin. See how it's starting to come away? Now we're going to catch the front part. Taking it down just a little ways. See how it's really close right in there. Doesn't touch the edges of our margins. Take away the excess right down here. We're almost there. There's the edge of the tooth right there. And what we've done now is we've exposed the entire margin of the tooth, and we're going to mark it with a red pencil. And with this marked, just like that, now we know where the edge of the crown is supposed to stop. Now if you look right over here, you can see how there's just a little bit of an edge right there that didn't get trimmed away.
Where? Let's see.
See how it's just down here a little bit below the edge of that red mark?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come in and just take away that last little bit. Now we can see our red mark all the way around. There's nothing in the way. Just make sure it's nice and marked, easy to see all the way around. And then we're going to take just a little bit of super glue. I'm going to put it over something that won't matter. Or put just a drop of super glue right around the tooth so it goes under the margin. We take some air, and we're just blowing it down so that it covers the whole die. Now if we look at it, we can see we've covered the entire die with super glue. Now we'll go ahead and we want to trim this back just a little bit under here. ideal world, we should be able to put that one in place just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Trim this one back just a little bit right here. This one right here. Now those two leave space for this guy right here, which then fits right in the middle. And see how we're a little bit broad right there? It didn't want to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to grind that back just a little bit. A little bit right there. Just a little bit tight right in there. Now it is possible for me to take the other parts out and slide it in and out, but if I can get it so that this just goes in and out just like that, then I can do all of my work on that and leave the other parts in place. See how that's just about touching right there?
Yes.
I can probably say, well, let's just take this little piece right here off. Boy, it just doesn't want to come off right now, does it? So tease it just a little bit.
Is it stuck to the super glue?
No. I forgot to trim this base off. So let's trim the base off. We were able to separate it without taking the pins off. What's going to keep us from hitting the pins?
The red mark?
Red wax.
Oh, red wax.
Almost there. You don't see any of our marks. Just starting to see it right there. But we can see where our wax is. So now we're going to come in here. Pause. We're going to show where each of the pins are. You can see that I ground that one back just a little bit too far with the model trimmer. Okay, now let's go to the steamer.
Okay. You're pumping extra water out.
We're not recording. So now we're going to use steam. Warmish.
Get rid of the wax.
Get rid of all the wax so that we can get to the pins. this is the area where it was just binding just barely.
Uh-huh.
So I just come in and trim that back just a little bit. In an ideal world, that will slide right into place, and you should have just a touch of space right in there. That's just about perfect. It doesn't bind anymore, but let's go just a hair more.
So how goes it?
Okay, so now we've created the area where we're ready to mount the cast and do our die spacer. Right here, these are the pins. We use those pins to get things out, just by pushing on them like that. And because I've trimmed that the way we have, now this slides in and out without having to play with the other models. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take some die spacer, shake it up nice, shaken not stirred, is that what they said? Oh. And take just a touch of this die spacer, and we're going to put just a little coat. We want to be about 2 millimeters away from the edge of the preparation. We don't want to go around to the edge. This die spacer is designed to create room for the cement when the crown is totally cast. And we ended up with a little bit that almost touched our margin, but we're just shy of it, so that's okay. And we're going to just let that set.